loud. I want people outside going, what the hell is going on in there? Why am I not in here? Because you gotta be here, because the comedy's in here. Are you guys ready for your headliner? Please give it up for Ricky Glore, everyone!
Hello, my name is Ricky. I am from Kentucky.
I guarantee this is Tom's David. This is what I have my ex saved up.
Can you bring it up here?
Shit, I would get it. It's better if you read it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. What's your ex's real name? Kamal. Oh, sorry. I should ask you.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I feel it. Kamal. Oh, it does say Kamal at the top. I also love it too that they give you.
Please record this. I got one. Tag that.
That we put the 2 letters of the initials at the top, so it's like SA. And it's just like, I don't know what that is. Then it says Kamal, which I don't even know how you got the function to put his real name the smallest. Here's his name. Satan, Beelzebub, the devil, period. So it's Satan, Beelzebub, the devil, period. And also, just to let you guys know, the capitalization is perfect. The grammar is perfect. And then after the devil, period, is a light-skinned hoe. Period. A light-skinned hoe. Period. And the only reason that I tell you that is I just did a show in Michigan, and I'm wearing a suit because I have 2 1-year-old twin boys and a 5-year-old daughter. So I never get to dress up anymore. So I like to look nice, because when you have a circus in your home, your theme song is do 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 do. Your catchphrase is that could have gone a whole lot worse. And your costume, what you're wearing is a t-shirt, sweatpants, and whatever crusty stuff was on their hands that is now smeared on you. And if you're a lady, sometimes it's yoga pants. And we all know the ladies that have kids that are wearing yoga pants that are not doing yoga, never have, never will. They are more doing yogurt frozen. But I wore a suit because I like to look nice when I can, when I'm not under the big top tent. In Michigan, I told someone else from Kentucky, and they looked at me puzzled, and they're like, "You all have suits in Kentucky?" And I was really offended by that, but I didn't know how to respond, so I responded sarcastically, and I was like, "No, I just bought this today in Michigan." As soon as I got in here, I went to a Kohl's, and I just bought myself the nicest thing I could find that fits. I'm happy that the person didn't just completely tell me what I should be wearing, like being from Kentucky, like overalls, or a cowboy hat, or some boots, some like cowboy boots, or just like a big mustache that makes me look racist. Like, I'm just glad.
Assless chaps.
Assless chaps in Kentucky? My brother's super gay. I would love to know where in Kentucky he can go with assless chaps. You know what? That's not fair. He's gay. I shouldn't assume that he would want to wear assless chaps there, just because that is like your preferred method of entry. If that's your preferred entrance, not, telling someone you're just like, hey, meet me around back. Like, that could be a cool thing, but like assless chaps, I'm not saying it's not cool for him. Again, I don't know what the right things are to say because I'm a comedian. We say a lot of things that are just off the top of our head, and it's never good things. The gynecologist was elbow deep inside of my wife. He was. She was pregnant. We were at the hospital. Okay, I didn't know if I needed to set the stage. I was just like, that's a wild Thursday night. But he was there, and he was just like, congratulations, you were pregnant, there is a baby. And then immediately it's like, hold on, wait. And I was just like, hold on, wait. Like, what news follows hold on, wait? And there's a Toyota Corolla! Like, what is... And tickets to the Super Bowl! And he's like, there is another baby. You are pregnant with twins. And my wife looked over at me, tears streaming down her face. My response, we're gonna need to buy a van. We're van people now. That's our life. We're van people now. We're not normal people. I have a mustache and I have to drive a van now. No one is gonna look. Everybody's gonna wonder if they're my kids. And the cheapest van we could get, we had to get this last year, was a 2016 Kia Sedona. Oh. Because I sold out. #comedy club. Our van is white. When you're buying a used van and they're cheap, you have to buy a used white van and you have a mustache. And my wife's like, shave the mustache. I'm like, stop having kids. And she's like, you're part of the problem there too. I'm like, damn it. But like, I don't, like, you just, sometimes you shouldn't say everything you think of. Like, Mike, Jesse, like, I know we all just say the first thing that comes to our brain because we're thinking maybe that's a joke, maybe that's a bit, maybe we can use it later. Maybe someone will laugh at it. Maybe we'll make money off it. I don't know. But I was going to pick up my twin boys from their babysitter, and my one son, Gus, he's teething pretty hard. So he puts everything in his mouth. He is chewing on everything. And I was like, oh yeah, man, he's really chewing on that Spider-Man doll. And his babysitter was like, yeah, his favorite doll to chew on is my Barbie doll that has a prosthetic leg. The way she presented it, I think she assumed that there was something uberly masculine about me because of the mustache and my whiteness. And she thinks that I think that I would not want my 1-year-old son chewing on a Barbie. I didn't think or care about that at all. When she said his favorite thing to chew on is my Barbie that has a prosthetic leg, my immediate response from brain to mouth was, aren't all of Barbie's limbs prosthetic? Because sometimes you just don't need to say everything you're thinking of. I went and got the oil changed in the van, and when I pulled in our clown car, they said, what kind of oil would you like? And I thought that was a stupid question because I didn't know there was more than one kind when you were getting your oil changed at the car place, at the Valvoline in the 15 minutes or less, because that is all I get of silence. Is 15 minutes or less. It's like it's a threat. I'm like, take as much time as you want. I don't need to be back home. And they're like, what kind of oil would you like? And I said, coconut. And they said, we're gonna ask you to leave now, please. It's inherited in our family though. Like my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, she speaks her mind. She is saying everything that comes to mind, and it's pretty funny. Like, there's a reason why there's a show, Kids Say the Darndest Things. They do. During the election, like I said, I live in northern Kentucky. We were walking down our street, and she stopped at this house, and I didn't know it until I was a couple houses down. I looked behind me, and I was like, oh, hey, Anna, what's up? And she was just deadlocked looking at this house. That it's election season, right? So there's a lot of election signs in the yard. And she goes, those. What are those? And I said, well, there's an election coming up. Those are signs supporting different candidates. And she goes, okay. Those free? I was like, those in particularly? No, that's that houses. We're in Kentucky. Please don't go on someone else's property. They will shoot a kid. But she's like, those free? I was like, yeah, not those, but yeah, you can get those, like for whoever your candidate is, they give them to you, put out their free advertising. But what the house also had was, it had a couple of political flags. I'm not gonna tell you what the candidate, who it was for. I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna politicize this. I'm just gonna tell you, the candidate who was on the flag they had hanging from their porch was in the position like this. And he was right next to Jesus, who was also doing this. It was just like mirrored image. Like if you ever saw like an old comedy of like Marx Brothers and Harper goes by a window and there's two of him and they go like this, identical. Couldn't tell who was who, but we're just like that. And she's like, okay, those flags, those free? And I was like, does she want political flags? Like, is she thinking about redecorating her bedroom and she's just like, next theme, all political flags? And I was like, no, I don't think those are free. And she goes, okay, how much? And I was like, Jesus, she really wants these flags. And I was like, honey, I have no idea. I was like, $50, $100, I don't know. And she goes, huh. I think they should save that money and put it towards repairs on their house. And then she walked away. I was like, you are not wrong. She also loves Halloween. Does anybody else have kids here tonight? Anybody else night out?
Couple of
Shoot, man. Where they at? Where they be? What their names are? Probably Jack and Daniel. I don't know. Who was your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Hell yeah. Do you like pizza?
I do.
Do you like to party?
I do.
Hell yeah. Do you have bumper stickers? No bumper? Good. Because bumper stickers are a great way of saying that you and that person never have to have a conversation. Because they put it on the back of their car. You have kids. You got 2 kids that you're aware of?
9.
You have 3 now? You have 9 kids? Wait, what? This isn't Price is Right. It's not like...
I have 3. My fiance has 6. That's 9.
Wow.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
That is... I told Jesse that you were good at math before. He was asking how... I'm not... Look, that's the other problem is people think I have a condescending sounding voice. Like, and I swear I do not think I'm better than you. I'm from Kentucky.
No, I get it.
When people... That I'm from Kentucky? Do I give off like a Kentucky vibe? Is it the mustache?
No, my grandparents are from Kentucky, so I get it.
She has, so you have 6 kids, he has 3, and you're like, if he's cool with that, you just won the lottery. Because you came in with 6. Man, you guys, this is a messed up Brady Bunch situation. Here's the story. How old are your kids, sir? The 3 that you're aware of.
11, 10, and 3.
Big gap in between, because that's how quick I can do math. Between the 10-year-old, I'm not going to say how many years, because that's way too hard. Between the 10 and the 3-year-old, what made you stop for a little bit of time? 7 years. Thank you. This is a nice audience. Backstage, they're like, they're really nice. Like, yeah, they're really nice. They're not booing. They're not. 7 years. What made you stop for 7 years?
Different women.
And again, you would think, like, I would think that would be a possibility of one of your answers, and I would try to get ahead of that and, like, come up with something. But no, I actually only wrote that first 10 minutes of the act. The rest of the show is an episode of Sally, Jesse, Raphael. I'm gonna go around the room. If you think her having 6 kids is the most amount of kids, we did a survey before you guys came in. One of you has 37 kids. But we're not going to tell you which one until we come after this break. your smartest kid?
The second one.
The 10-year-old?
Yeah.
Boy or girl?
Girl. All
Yeah.
All girls.
You, of course, you had all girls.
Yeah, I was a hoe in high school.
I love that you claimed I love that you didn't say slut. Because there's like, slut isn't fun, like even just a hard T is like,
No, it's a player's curse.
players gotta play, right? Players gotta play, players gotta lay, you know what I'm saying? I knew, and I don't ever want to, I didn't judge you, because judging sounds bad. The back of your shirt says blessed, and I truly do think you are.
I am.
With a smart daughter, second one's the smartest. My first daughter, my only daughter, is the smartest, but she does things like, even though she knows they will scare her, like she loves Halloween stuff, like, but we don't show her anything inappropriate, but she loves Halloween, just scary things. But the other night, she had a nightmare. Did you ever go through the nightmare phase with your kids, right? And they sleep with you,
Yeah.
and you were just like, I'm trying to have 7 more kids. Get out of here! I just want to bring you up on stage and sit you in a chair, but but like, even though my daughter, like, she's very smart, she is incredibly smart, and she knows monsters aren't real. We've explained that to her. She is aware of what I do and actors and stuff, so she gets playing make-believe. She's 100% of that. But she still has nightmares. And the other day, she came downstairs and she said, Daddy, I had a nightmare last night where a mummy was chasing you and me throughout the house. But I remembered that you said mummies are not real. And what I should have said is yes, you were correct, honey, mummies are not real. But because I also like to be right, I was like, well, that's not necessarily true. And mummies are real, like Egyptian times, mummification, sarcophagus, and she started crying pretty hard, and I was like, oh no! And so I had to bring up a YouTube video from like the History Channel, and I was like, see, mummies are real, but not like zombie mummies. A mummy is not going to chase you and me throughout this house in Newport, Kentucky. You know, the home of mummies. Like, even if they don't exist, but even like the plane travel from Egypt, it would be terrible. Customs would be awful. Like, people coming over from Egypt right now, especially with the government the way it is, it's not going to happen. But mummies are not real like that. And she went, okay, I get it. Mummies are real, but not like zombie mummies. I was like, not like zombie mummies. And she's like, great, but at least skeletons aren't real. And I said, you are absolutely right. For 4 days, it was gnawing at me. Because all I wanted to say was, skeletons are real! And there's one living inside of you right now! The call is coming from inside the house! Get out! My daughter likes coming and watching media shows. She has traveled with me sometimes. And my favorite thing is that one time we were driving up to a show, and it was at like this resort lodge, and she was just like, Daddy, sometimes you spend the night for your shows. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, sometimes you come back later that night. And I said, yeah. And she's like, is tonight one of the nights where we spend the night? And I was like, yeah, tonight's one of the nights we spend the night. And they go, do they like you? And I was like, the audience or the people that booked me? She's like, people that booked you. And I was like, yeah, sure. She's like, do they like you so much that they give you a room tonight? And I was like, yeah, we got a room tonight. She's like, do they like you so much they give you 2 beds? Because in her mind, 2 beds, it's just like, wow, they really like you. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I told them you were coming, so maybe you're 5, maybe they gave us another bed. She's like, I don't care if they gave you another bed, because I'm sleeping with you tonight. And I was like, kids can be creepy while also being sweet. We have a thing called a hatch, because we're lazy parents. At the end of the day, at the end of our circus, at the end of our shift, when we're putting the kids down, that's a better way of saying it. When they're going to bed, she has a hatch which plays a story for you, so you can listen along with her. And one of the stories, it involved a kitchen where like all the kitchen items were coming to life. And it was like all the regular things. It was like a pot holder like coming to life and talking. It was like a spatula coming to life and talking. And then we went through like 3 other things, like normal kitchen items. But Anna, I looked over, she had her eyes closed and her hands pressed like this. And she goes, oh, I hope the next thing's a knife. It is great having kids. I did realize why the buddy system is created. We are at a trampoline park, like one of those jumping adventure park places, and where you can't really see the kids. Like the best thing about having a redheaded kid, I don't, because I think they're gross. But the benefit to having redheaded kids is if you're at one of those places, or if like you're at an amusement park or something, and you're worried you can't find them, they pop out like that. Like it's real easy, where's Waldo? It's like, oh, there's the freak, it's over there, we're good.
Well, I gotta tell you, my smart one.
You of course have got to tell me. We have an open dialogue now.
My smart one is redheaded.
You can't trust her.
No, she's one of the pretty ones. It could go either way.
Oh, please tell me your dissertation on ugly redheads versus, or ugly redheaded 10-year-olds versus young, like hot redheaded 10-year-olds. He's like, well, glad you asked. Pulls out. Now, we've already established and set a baseline here, so I'm just going to go to chapter 6. You probably know why the buddies. So I always thought the buddy system as a kid, where they're just like, have a buddy, have a friend. And like, and a stranger comes up to you, be like, no, I don't know you. That's not why. It's not for if somebody comes and tries to steal a kid, that there's another kid that's like, hey, do you know that guy? I don't think you should go with him. It's not because of that. It's because the buddy system exists because it's way harder to steal 2 kids than it is 1 kid. Okay, maybe not funny, but true. Right? Like, how, like, a parent, like, with a kid underneath one arm, and you're just like, oh, kids, right? And you're just like, oh, yeah, that kid was acting up. Especially, like, a trampoline, like, adventure park thing. But if they got 2 of them, and they're just like, shh. Man, if you guys thought that was too dark, I'm worried about this next chunk. I have just started paying way more attention to Amber Alerts. I have 3 kids. I have a 1 in 3 chance of winning now. And I didn't before. Like, I used to brush off Amber Alerts. I used to not look at them at all. But now that you have 3 kids, you know, you're more invested. It could be your day. Anybody can win. You just have to play the game, right? You can't win unless you play. So if ever I'm driving along like the highway and they have one of the signs that says like Amber Alert, like whenever they tell you the car, it's never a nice car. It is never a nice car. It's always like, it's a 2002, mostly purple Geo Metro with a red door and Lincoln Continental hubcaps. and a sticker on the back windshield that says blessed. And my middle child, the smartest one, who's redheaded, parenthetical, but hot. She's one of them. She's one of those good looking redheads, not like one of those other kind of redheads. And then it says, and she's an honor student. Like, that's the car that's set. Like, if I'm driving and I see that, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, there's no kids with me. Like, oh, hopefully they're not in that car. And then if it like describes the kid into like looking for a like 10-year-old Asian boy, I'm just like, I don't have one of those. That person does, but I don't have one of those. Like, it's never a nice car. Like, if it were a nice car and I was driving along sans kids and the Amber Alert popped up and it was like, Amber Alert, be on the lookout for a 2026 black Lexus sports model series. Complete package. Upgrades, Bluetooth, Sirius XM. Like, I'd look at that and if I didn't have any of my kids with me, I'd be like, well, it could have gone a whole lot worse. This is not the worst possible situation that we could be in right now. I can only imagine how many fights that you have gotten in with your fiance. A lot or a little? A couple? What were the biggest ones? Oh, this is great.
The biggest
Let's see if we can break this up. Look, these kids need homes, but... What was the biggest fight that you think you've had with your fiance so far?
No, there really wasn't.
No, that's I don't know. Look, I love you backtrack that.
Yeah, we don't fight.
But do you remember 5 minutes ago when you were just like, my 10-year-old's a smoke show? That you didn't walk back, like you just kept on going. I asked like a fight, we had a couple, she's like, we haven't had shit. And you're just like, you're right, we didn't.
No, we really have.
Smart man, way smarter than me. Again, so I will say dumb things even when I shouldn't because it's the first thing I think of. I will also do dumb things. I came home and we had a weird amount of flies in our kitchen. Just a weird amount of flies. So I did whatever a young person who's a first-time homeowner who knows nothing does. I Googled it. I'm like, what does it mean when you have flies? I'm like, demons? Ghosts? Egyptian mummies? Like, what are we dealing with here? And then I read everything. It was like, look for, the water, like freestanding water, or left out food, or an open door, open window. And I did all of that. And I went to the fridge, and there was no freestanding water. There was no left out food that I could find. And then I went to the sink, and the window was shut, but that's where all the flies were. And another thing that I had read said, dead plants will also attract flies. And sitting above the sink in a vase or a vase was a brown plant that looked crunchy and dead. And I thought I was being a good husband, was like, I'm gonna take care of this fly problem before my wife gets home because this is gonna creep her out. She's gonna think it's gross. She's gonna think there's something nasty going on in the kitchen. And so I took the plant and I threw it away. Thought I did a good job. Wife came home, comes into the kitchen, and she goes, hey, where's my fake plant? To which I said, excuse me? And she's like, yeah, I had a fake plant. I was like, you mean the one that looked like a brown dead plant? Sitting above the sink? She's like, yeah, it was supposed to look that way. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, wait, you spent money on a plant that looks dead? And you know what her response was? Yes, because it will look like that forever. And I was like, so do other fake plants. They don't die. You could get other fake, dead-looking plants, and we could have the same results right now. Jesse was saying farts that he thinks are the key to a successful relationship. I haven't asked you your name. What is your name, sir? David, what do you think is the key to a successful relationship? Backing down when you said we've had a couple fights and you're like,
real love is the key.
real love is the key. None of that fake stuff. None of that pre-bought, none of that Hallmark. Because Jesse's right too, farting. Farting is a big thing.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. When I was before I could see the front of your face and I just saw the blessed on the back of your shirt and the mullet, I was like, that guy farts. The only cooking that guy does is in the Dutch oven. My wife and I, we have a rule that if one of us has to fart when we're in bed, we're supposed to turn away from the other one, lift up the blanket, and shoot it out. The thought process behind this is that if you fart under the covers, it will live longer than if you were to release it out into the ether to dissipate. Now, when we're not in bed, all rules are off. When I fart, my wife gets a disgusted look on her face, and she goes, "Oh, you forced that out." To which I say, "Hey, I didn't force it, but I did nothing to keep it in." And now when she farts, and I'm not talking like a little mouse fart, I'm talking like a marching band that still has 15 more blocks to go in their parade route. When she screeches one of these demons loose, she acts surprised by it. And she goes, "Oh, that just slipped out. That just slipped right out. Don't worry, mine don't smell." I'm like, "Liar, you love Chipotle." David and lady, what is your name? Kira, David and Kira, where did you guys meet?
Facebook.
Hell yeah. I didn't know, well, so here's the thing, this is new to me. I didn't know Facebook also has a dating section. Did you guys meet on Facebook dating or just No, that makes it better.
No.
Did you guys have like a friend in common?
No.
I just started telling her she was beautiful over the stories.
Hell yeah, your DMs were just straight up open. Oh, that is beautiful. No, that is, look, as put together as I look in my suit from Kohl's. I am not that much of a social butterfly. I met my wife on OkCupid and online dating. If anybody do online dating?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. What do you use?
I use OkCupid to meet my now ex-wife, but
But again, it's OkCupid's not over-promisorial. It's like, "Okay, Cupid." Like even it's a little flippant in their presentation. But now for the now ex-wife, did you use another service for current wife? Or?
girlfriend, I use Bumble, so modernize a bit.
Yeah, Tinder didn't exist when I was using OkCupid. Like if Tinder would have existed, I don't know that I ever would have met my wife. Tinder is a tough hole to go down. That is like kid in a candy store. That is way too easy for lazy people.
Yes.
But like OkCupid, same dating, same setup. I assume this is how dating websites are still done, where you go to a person's profile, they have a picture, and you can't see more pictures until you click that picture, and they have all that writing where they pour out their heart and their soul, political beliefs.
Yes.
Yeah. God, David, I wish you had a dating profile. Like favorite band, Whitesnake, duh. After last relationship, what are you looking for? Here I go again on my own. I don't think there would be a thing I would disagree on that dating profile. But my wife, dating profiles exact same as the normal ones, wrote out a bunch of stuff about herself that I didn't read because it just looked at her picture. And told her she was beautiful. I saw a picture of my wife and I was just like, oh, this is a weird connection that I've never had to just someone's picture until since I was in 7th grade and I saw Debbie Does Dallas. That's the last time that I've had that instant of attraction, but north of the equator, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to ask her out on a date. I feel weirdly connected with her in a way that her eyes just weirdly spoke to me. I was like, if I don't ask her on a date, I weirdly feel like I would be missing an opportunity. And then I clicked the picture to see her other pictures, and she only had one other picture. And in that other picture, she was wearing a hat. And I have a theory about women who wear hats. So sorry. The bigger the hat, the crazier the woman. You tell me. I mean, we have baseball cap, Foreign Legion beret, or art school, or she's French, or she's crazy. This was a fedora that my wife was wearing, so mid-level crazy. I thought this was a cute story to tell my wife on our 1-year anniversary. It was not. She got mad and she snapped and she said, I'm wearing a hat now. Do I look crazy? Do I look crazy? And I said, yes. It's midnight. We're in bed. Take off the sombrero. I will. You know what? I have never told this story. This is not a joke. So I don't know if any laughs are going to come from it. I think they will because I'm an idiot. Biggest fight that besides dead plants that I had with my wife was right before we got married. She asked to look through the contacts of my phone. Not because I had anything to hide, it's because there were some of my friends that she wouldn't put down their phone numbers. And I had nothing to hide, so I was more than happy to give up my phone. I forgot how stupid I am and how stupid I think a lot of us are with how we save people's names. Because right off the bat in the bees, it did not look good. It was like Barf Bag Billy. Benjamin Bossman, always answer, he's your boss. Booty call Becky. Do not answer, you're not single anymore. And then under the B's was cat doctor in parentheses. And then the next one was cat doctor for real. And my wife's like, I don't even know where to begin. Who's Billy? And is he invited to our wedding? Because I don't think he should be. Does anybody have I've never told that story. Does anybody have a crazy name in their phone?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. Man, were you trying to jump to it before David got you? Can anybody beat that? No.
It's from years ago.
Do you have a crazy one? Oh, no, you're in your keys. Are you starting in the heat on your car?
No.
Oh. Okay. You're like, you're like, my name's Kamala and I need to go. I didn't know they were going to be here tonight, honey. I heard it was a comedy club, I didn't think there were going to be 20 seats. And we could see everyone real well. I feel like I've given you guys a little bit of a glimpse of our family. It's a circus now. It was a circus even before the twins, because this is a little sad. My father-in-law passed away, and my in-laws lived in Florida. And so when he passed away, we moved up my mother-in-law to live with us for 6 months. So we reversed Florida her. She thought she was in Florida, like beautiful weather, except for the occasional, like you're gonna die from a hurricane. But like we brought her to Kentucky where it was snowing, and I got along with her great. I was so happy because I was worried that we were gonna be in like a sitcom situation where we were gonna be at each other's throats. Because for a while, it was my wife, my 5-year-old daughter, Anna, or who was 4 at the time, my mother-in-law. So it was 3 women against me. The only other male in the house was our cat. And whenever he'd walk by, he'd be like, "You cut off my balls, I can't help you." Damn it. But like we got along really, really well. There were only 2 things that I can think of that got on my nerves with Brenda. The first one is that Brenda cannot eat spicy food. And I am not talking like jalapeno ghost pepper. I'm talking like if you guys went out to dinner tonight and you had a salt and pepper shaker on your table. Table pepper, too spicy for Brenda. And I know it's weird, like that shouldn't annoy me, but it does so much because she puts herself in terrible situations to eat food. Anybody in the history of time who cannot eat spicy food does things like, how hot do you think this jalapeno ranch is? Do you know what her favorite restaurant is? Chili's. Every time we go there, it's always the same. She gets her food, and she starts pushing around her plate with her fork. And I take the bait, and I go, "Brenda, what's wrong?" And she goes, "Well, it's a little spicy." Hey, let's walk outside. Hey, you see the name of the restaurant? It's Chili's. And if you can't read, they put a nifty little picture behind that to show you what you're in for. Second thing that annoys me that she does, this is the number 1 thing, and it really, really annoys me because I'm very practical with the function of something, and that is she will not stop buying us decorative hand towels. Guys, do you know what decorative hand towels are? They're the ones that you don't use, but they hang in areas of like where you do use things, like on an oven. They usually have pictures of cats on them with their paws up in the air and a little word balloon that says something like, "My favorite day of the week is Purrs Day." And guys, they're the ones that if you go, like if you spill something and you grab one of those to wipe it up, and your wife is there, or girlfriend, she'll be like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "I don't know, about ready to make a mistake, I guess." So sorry. But if no one is within eyeshot, you take one of those and you go to wipe up like some water that you spilled on the floor, all it will do is push the water around your kitchen floor, turning it into a slip and slide dust zone. I asked Brenda one time, why do you keep on buying these when they don't even serve their primary function, which is to absorb? And she said, "I know, but don't they look nice?" We do Secret Santa in my family. Next year, I'm going to trade to get Brenda's name, and I'm going to get her decorative toilet paper. We have a family tradition where we eat very greasy spaghetti and meatballs for Christmas. she's going to be spending all Christmas Day in our tiny first floor Harry Potter bathroom. Just wiping away with no results. Like if you were trying to wipe the top of a marker dry, that thing's not getting dry. It's going to get so bad, I'm just going to hear her in there and eventually hear her meek little voice just be like, "This isn't doing anything." And I'm going to be outside of the door like Jack Nicholson in The Shining and be like, "I know, but doesn't it look nice?" We have a cat. Our cat is named Norman. He is a black and white cat. My wife named him Norman off of Psycho. From Norman Bates. He's a black and white cat. I like cats. He is a psycho. Most cats are psycho. I am fine that people who like cats. There are people who have kids and there are people who have cats. And the people who have cats are just like, well, I'm just a cat person. Like, I'm like, no, you're just a person that when your thing dies, you're not investigated. Too dark, all right. Thought I would take that one away from the Amber Alert, give you a good 20 minutes, give you some more data, give you some light skinned hoe. Like, thought if we padded that in the middle, we'd be good before we talked about kids dying. But like, honestly, when you have kids and they're small, being a good parent is just meaning that your kids are alive. Like, that's really all it is. And like knowing kind of where they are. Like a general vicinity. And like nowadays you can low jack a kid and just like put a tracker on them. Like cats, you never know where they are. You will never, like you cannot be a helicopter cat mom. Because cats, they will do whatever they want. They will be wherever they want to be. And cats, most of the time, very aggressive, not nice. The people I hate are the cat people, the people who annoy me, that if you see someone and their cat for the first time and the cat like jumps on your lap and they're like purring, they just sit there and they go, "Oh! He must really like you. He doesn't do that to anybody. Usually he's ripping out their intestines and blinding them and scarring them for the rest of their lives, but he must like you." I say that because I say that before I make the declaration that women are smarter than men, though. Like top to bottom. Like guys, most guys are dog dudes. And women are smarter because they're cat moms. You know women are smarter for a lot of reasons. I know my wife is smarter because she knows when to say certain words even when they're spelled the same, but have two different pronunciations and meanings. Give you an example. Polish and polish. I am never sure when I'm supposed to say one or the other. Like I could go to a barbecue and be like, "Hey, I really want a Polish sausage." And there could be some guys there that become way more interested in me than I want them to be. I was taking the shower. I was taking the shower. Like it's the only one of the year. I was taking the shower of all showers. Welcome to Shower Bowl 2025. The day Ricky gets clean. I was taking a shower and I picked up the shampoo bottle and my wife was in the bathroom dropping a load. And she'd be fine with me telling you that. That's her favorite thing to do in the bathroom. We have 3 kids, 5-year-old and twin 1-year-old boys. We take all the bathroom time that we need. But what she didn't know was I was going to ask a real dumb question. I was like, "Hey honey, the shampoo bottle. It says, may cause tears or tears. Which one do you think it is?" And she's like, "I hope it's tears." Because tears, then it's like, well, where? I was like, good point. Why are we buying shampoo that says may cause tears? Don't they make shampoo? Oh, she's gone. She's not in the bathroom anymore. I'm just shouting at the moon by myself. Statistically, you know that women are smarter than men too. There is a scientific report that came out that said that if a man and woman have been together for a really long time, if the woman dies, statistically, how long do you think the man will live?
A year.
A year? 6 months? It's 3 months. Scientifically, a man will live 3 months after his partner of a long time has passed. Coincidentally, that is the same amount of time that anybody can go without eating or drinking before you die. Then that means we are so stupid that when our lady dies, we go to the refrigerator and we're just like, I don't remember how to know. Oh, I'm dead. Now flip that. If a man and woman have been together for a really long time and the man dies, on average, how long do you think the woman lives?
20 years.
427 years. She gets engaged to her best friend, Kathy. They adopt 30 cats, 20 of which they call Buttons, the other 10 they call Mr. Whiskers. They wear yoga pants and flip-flops for the rest of their days, and they are happy. Final thing about women being smarter than men. I know you're gonna have my back on this one. At night, when you're getting ready to go to bed, and your lady turns over and looks at you, and she goes, hey, what are you thinking about? Every guy is just like, oh, no. Because the answer is nothing. But we know you can't say nothing, because that'll make her mad. So the only thing really you're thinking of in which you can't say is sometimes the theme to Bonanza. And like some guys don't even know that that's what it's called. You're just sitting there slack-jawed like dun 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 dun. And sometimes we add lyrics like gonna eat, gonna sleep, gonna shake, gonna do it. Gonna eat, gonna sleep, gonna shake, gonna do it all again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But you can't tell her that. That is a big waste of time. So you turn it on her, and you were just like, so much, right? Like everything that's going on in the world and stuff. But it sounds like you want to talk about something. What are you thinking about? And you're like, and she hears that, and she goes, nothing either. Good night. And she goes to bed. But that's not true. Because what she's thinking is, tomorrow morning I gotta get up super early. I gotta pack all the kids' lunches. I gotta get them off to school. Then I gotta go to the liquor store and get a bottle of wine for Kathy at work. Because the other day when she came into the office, she was wearing a new scarf. She said, how do you like my scarf? And I hesitated before I said, it looks okay. And she said, okay. And she said, yeah, no, it looks good on you. And then she told everybody in the office that I'm a bitch. So I gotta get that bottle of wine and smooth things over. And then during my lunch break, I go to the grocery store and I gotta get groceries for the rest of the week. I ate some for little Tommy. Because last week he crapped his pants at football practice. So we cannot have fettuccine alfredo again before football practice. We gotta get some other things, some milder foods. Then I gotta get home and I gotta prep all those meals. Then I gotta all the kids' extracurricular activities. Then I gotta go to the homework with all the kids. And then I gotta put everybody in bed. Then I gotta come in here and I gotta try to have a conversation with the only other person that knows what my life is. Are you thinking of anything? And all you're doing over there is thank you guys so much for coming out tonight.
Ricky Glore, everyone, give it up for him. This guy's the best. This guy's the best. He's got merch people over there. Thank you. Follow him online. Check out his movie, man. You will not be sorry. It is a good time. Did you guys have fun tonight? Let's give it up for one more time for Mike Larson. Yeah. What? Yeah, birthday. Let's say happy birthday, right? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. So they come on back to the table. Follow us online. My name is Jesse Pimpinella. Good night.
Oh, you know what? You get one of these now, sir. You were half the show. Where's the birthday girl?
Where's birthday girl?
Right here.
Okay. Happy birthday.